हेलो एवरीवन, क्या हाल चाल। सब बढ़िया। चलो नीट पी वाई क्यूज़ के नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन करते हैं सॉल्व। राइट, प्रीवियस क्लास में हम लोगों ने 1995 तक प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर लिए थे। सो शैल आई प्रोसीड फॉर अ नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन। राइट, चलो नीट 1994 पी वाई क्यूज़ क्वेश्चन। अ कार एक्सेलेरेट फ्रॉम अ रेस्ट एट अ कांस्टेंट rate alpha for a some time, after which it deaccelerate at a constant beta and come to rest. If the total time elapsed is t, then the maximum velocity acquired by the car will be. So in this question what they are telling that कि एक कार एक्सेलेरेट कर रही है। अब एक्चुअली कार स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम रेस्ट, मीन्स इट इज़ लाइक अ सिचुएशन लाइक आई ड्रॉ द डायग्राम। राइट, just 1 minute. So in this condition there is a car, and in this car they first going to accelerate and then they after that they going to deaccelerate, right? And they start from rest, means their initial velocity is 0 and they start at a constant rate alpha. They first going to accelerate and then after that it is like a situation, they first going to accelerate for some time, let this time t1, we say this is the time t1, and then after that t is equal to t2, that acceleration is we say beta. Deaccelerate at a constant beta and come to rest, means their final velocity become 0, right? And total time elapsed is t, means in this journey what is the total time? Total time is t is equal to t1 plus t2, right? Total time is t1 plus t2. So this I say this is our equation first. This is our equation first, right? Then they are asking maximum velocity, means maximum velocity, what is their maximum velocity, right? As the car going to accelerate, right? So when they are before reaching to the deacceleration point, some point is there where the maximum velocity is achieved by this car, right? So I start from this like v is equal to u plus at, right? Their initial speed is 0 and we know that is v is equal to u and acceleration is alpha and time is t1. So t1 is equal to v upon alpha. This is equation second, right? And then after that again I apply the equation of motion, v is equal to u plus at. The final velocity become 0 and their initial velocity at this point I say that is v. This is the point where maximum velocity achieved by this. So I say this is v max and this is our v max. Acceleration is minus beta into t2. So right, so this is t2 time is basically v max by beta. This is our equation number third, right? Understand now? Any doubt left you can ask them. So and from our equation first, total time t is equal to, that is t1 plus t2. So t is equal to v max by alpha plus v max by beta. So I take v max common, that is 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta. So here t left, then after that v max alpha plus beta alpha beta. So here after that v max is equal to alpha beta t alpha plus beta. So that is our maximum velocity. Understand? So in this question I again explain alpha beta t alpha plus beta. So which option is correct? Option D is correct, right? So in this question what they are telling that ki first car going to accelerate at some point, and then after that the car going to deaccelerate for some time t2, right? And in this time they are saying that what is the maximum velocity in terms of time you have to give, right? So when the car is going to accelerate at some point they have a maximum velocity, and then after that the car going to deaccelerate means their velocity is going to be decreasing as the acceleration is decreasing, right? So some point we say assume that ki when the car is going to accelerate now, so that point where the car has a maximum acceleration is there, that is Vmax, and then after that the acceleration is decreases means their velocity also decreases, right? So I find that V is equal to u plus at, then I find t1 time, then after that t2 time, and in this journey what is the total time? Total time is t1 plus t2. Then after that I put this value and I got that Vmax is alpha beta t upon alpha plus beta, right? So which option is correct? Option D is correct. Shall I proceed for a next question? Right. So a particle moves along a straight line such that its displacement at any time t is given by tq minus 6t square plus 3t plus 4. The velocity of the particle when acceleration is 0. They are asking the velocity of the particle when the acceleration is 0. So first we have to find velocity, that is ds by dt, that is 3t square minus 12t plus 3, right? This is our the velocity we got, that is 3t square minus 12t plus 3, that is our equation second. Now we got acceleration. Acceleration is basically 60 minus 12 and acceleration becomes 0, then that time we say 2 seconds. So that is the time. So now we have to find acceleration at which time where acceleration is 0. So we got that acceleration is 0 at t is equal to 2 seconds. So we have to find velocity at that time, that is 2 square minus 12 into 2 plus 3, right? Velocity at t is equal to 2 is basically 3, 2 2s are 4 minus 12 into 2 plus 3, that is 12, and that is minus 24 plus 3. So everything is correct now, 24, and here left minus 24 means minus 9 meter per second. So here velocity is minus 9 meter per second. So here which option is correct? Option D is correct. The velocity of a train increases uniformly from 20 km to 60 km per hour. The velocity of a train increases from 20 km per hour to 60 km per hour in 4 hours. The distance traveled by the train during this time is. So in this question what they are telling that they are finding the distance, right? Their initial speed is 20 km per hour and their final velocity is 60 km per hour. In time, like time they have given 4 hours. The distance traveled by this in this interval is, right? So they are asking distance, right? So as we know that first we find acceleration v is equal to u plus at. The final velocity is 60. The initial velocity is 20. Acceleration is and time is 4. So acceleration comes out to be 40 divided by 4. So that is 10 kilometer per hour square. That is our acceleration coming, right? Now we have to find the distance, right? So distance we have to find. So v square is equal to u square plus 2as, right? So the final velocity is 60 square plus initial velocity is 20 square plus 2 times acceleration is 10 and s we have to find 3600 to 2 are 400 plus 20 s. 3200 is equal to 20s. So s is equal to 3200 by 20. So S comes out to be 160 kilometer. S comes out to be 160 kilometer, right? So which option is matching? Option A. Option A is the correct answer. So now we have to do next question. The space-time graph of a moving particle is shown below. The instantaneous velocity of the particle is negative at point. As you know that in displacement time graph, if I draw the slope, so I got velocity, right? So I got velocity, and if slope is positive, just 1 minute. If slope is positive, means velocity is positive. If slope is negative, so velocity is decreasing, means negative. So right here you see that in graph C, if you draw the slope here is positive, so here velocity is positive. At D point slope is 0, means velocity is negative. At E point, yes, slope is negative, so here velocity is negative. So which option is correct? Option E is the correct option. And here also slope is positive, so option F is also not correct. So option A is correct. Here at point E velocity is negative, so option A is correct. Understand? So shall I proceed for a next question? Right. A body starts from rest, and what is the ratio of the distance traveled by the body during the 4th and 3rd second? Right. So in this question, what they are telling, a body starts from rest means let the body starts from rest means their initial speed is 0, right? And they start from rest, and they are asking the ratio of distance traveled in 4th second to distance traveled in 3rd second, right? So S nth is equal to U plus A by 2, that is 2n minus 1, right? So S nth is equal to initial speed is 0 plus acceleration is A by 2, 2n minus 1. So first we find distance traveled in 4th second, that is A by 2, 2 into 4 minus 1. So that is S4 is equal to A by 2, 4 to the 8 minus 1, 7. So distance traveled in 3rd second is A by 2, 2 into 3 minus 1. S3rd is equal to A by 2, 2 3 is 6, 6 minus 1, that is 5. So ratio of the distance traveled in 4th to 3rd is, that is 7 by 5. 7 by 5. 7 by 5. Which of the following curve does not represent motion in one dimension? Which of the following curve does not represent motion in one dimension? So this is one dimension motion. This is also one dimension motion. This is also one dimension motion. But this is a 2D circle. So this equation is x square upon a square plus y square upon b square is equal to 1. Right? This is equation of ellipse. So this is 2D equation. So option B is correct. Which of the following does not represent two-dimensional motion? So this does not represent the 2D motion, right? So this represents 1D motion. This also represents 1D motion, right? I proceed for a next question. A body dropped from the top of a tower, fall through 40 meters during the last 2 seconds of its fall. The height of the tower is. So in this question, what they are telling that a body is falling freely, dropped from a top of a tower. Their initial speed is 0, their acceleration is plus g, right? And they travel, they travel 40 meter in last 2 seconds, and then they are asking what is the height of the tower. Last 2 seconds they travel, last 2 seconds. (40 meter), and what is the height of the tower, right? So first we apply equation of motion, s is equal to ut plus half at square, right? So ball falling freely, so initial speed is 0, 1 by 2, acceleration is g t square, and here they have given g value 10, right? So 10 divided by 2, that is 5 t square, and h I say this is the height, right? This is our equation first. Right? Now distance traveled in last 2 seconds means, right? So distance traveled at in t second, distance traveled in t second, and distance traveled in t minus 2 seconds. So first apply s is equal to ut plus half at square. So distance traveled in t second is 0 plus half g t square. So distance traveled in last t second is half gt square in t second, and distance traveled in t minus 2 seconds. So s is equal to 0 plus half g t minus 2 का whole square. So that is s is equal to g by 2 t minus 2 whole square. So that is our equation, and that is also our equation. So distance traveled in last 2 seconds means, distance traveled in last 2 seconds means distance traveled in t second minus distance traveled in s t minus 2 seconds is, so that is half gt square, right? Half gt square minus half g t minus 2 का whole square, and this they have said in the question that distance traveled in last 2 seconds, that is 40 meter. So 1 by 2 g t square minus 1 by 2 g t square plus 4 minus 40, right? So that is 40 is equal to, I solve this, half gt square minus half gt square plus, here if I multiply this, that is coming out to be minus 2g, and then after that here also I multiply this, so this comes out to be 2gt. Here this cancel, so here left is 2g, I take common, so that left is t minus 1. So here if I put g value, that is 10 t minus 1, so 2 is equal to t minus 1. So here t is equal to 3 seconds. T is equal to 3 seconds. So which option is correct? No, sorry. Here we got the value of time. Now we have to find the height. So I put this value in equation, putting in equation first. So h is equal to 5 t square. 5 is a 9. So h comes out to be 45 मीटर, 45 मीटर, right? Now next question, a car moves a distance of 200 meter. It covers first half of the distance at a speed of 40 kilometer per hour and second half of a distance at a speed of v, second half of a distance at a speed of v. The average speed is 48 kilometer per hour. Then they are asking the value of v is. देखो in this question what they are telling that suppose a car is moving, right? They travel half a distance, means distance is x by 2 at a speed of 40 kilometer per hour, and next half of the distance at a speed of v, next half of a distance x by 2 with the speed v, and they have given that average speed is basically, that average speed is 48 kilometer per hour, and they are asking what is the value of v. As we know that as the distance are equal, as the distance are equal into interval, then the average speed formula is, average speed formula you can also derive, that is 2 times v1 v2 upon v1 plus v2. Average speed formula that is 48 is equal to 2 times 40 plus v, 40 plus v, right? So then after that 42 48 40 plus v, sorry, that is 2 into 40 into v, and that is 80 v, 80 v. As you know 40 into 48 is 1920 plus 48 v, that is equal to 80 v. So 1920 is equal to 80 minus 48, that is 32 v. So here we can I do 1920 divided by 32, 1920 divided by 32, so that is comes out to be 60 kilometer per hour. Understand now? Not difficult now? If you feel difficult you can tell them. So which option is correct? Option B is correct. Option B is correct. So next question, a man throws ball with the same speed vertically. 1 minute. This question, actually this question we have already done. Last question I have already done. A car moves a distance of 200 meter. It covers first half of the distance at a speed. This question we have also done. Actually by mistake I think they have repeated it. This question, a bus traveling the first third of a distance at a speed of 9 km per hour, and next 1/3 of a distance 20 km, and last 1/3 of a distance 60 km per hour. Then the average speed of the bus is. It is like this situation. Actually here they have given let its total distance is x, first half of the distance x by 3, first half of the distance x by 3, next half of the distance x by 3. First half of the distance they travel with a 10 km per hour, next half of the distance 20 km, and the next half of the distance 60 km per hour. The average speed of the train is, they are asking average speed. Average speed is basically total distance upon total time, right? So average speed is basically total distance is x upon total time is basically t1 plus t2 plus t3, and average speed is basically, and here t1 is basically x by 3 upon 10, here t2 is basically x by 3 upon 20, and here t3 is basically x by 3 upon 60. So V average is equal to x upon x by 30. So x upon 460 plus x upon 180, right? So here average speed is basically x upon 180, that is 6 plus 3 plus 1. So average speed is basically 180 divided by 910. So here average speed comes out to be 80 kilometer per hour, right? 18 kilometer per hour. So which option is correct? Option C is correct. Option C is correct. Is it fine now? You have not any confusion now? Right. A car travels first half of the distance between two places 40 km and another half of the distance 60 km, and then the average speed. Again the same concept which we have already discussed. If the car travels equal distance in equal two interval, so their average speed formula become right, we have already used so many times, 2 v1 v2 upon v1 plus v2, right? So v average here comes out to be 2 times v1 is 40 and v2 is 60. 40 into 60, 40 plus 60, so that is 80 into 60 divided by 100. So here 10 से 10 cancel, 10 से 10 cancel. So here B average comes out to be 48 kilometer per hour. Understand? So which option? Option B is correct, right? Next question. This question I think we have already done. What is the ratio of distance moved by the freely falling body from rest in the fourth and fifth second is? Fourth and fifth second is like distance traveled in the fourth second. देखो freely falling body, so distance traveled in nth second is u plus a by 2 to n minus 1. So distance traveled in fourth second is, that is 0 plus a by 2 to 2 so 4 to 8, 8 minus 1, 8 minus 1, that is 7. So as fourth comes out to be 7a by, so this is equation first, and distance traveled in fifth second is as fifth, that is as fourth is 0 plus a by 2, that is 2 into 5 minus 1. So as 5 as fourth is equal to as 5, that is 5 to the 10, 10 minus 1, 9 a by 2, that is our equation second. So their ratio they have taken as fourth. What is they asking? They are asking the ratio fourth and fifth second. As fourth upon as fifth, that is 7a by 2, 9a by 2. So here comes out to be as fourth upon as fifth, that is 7 by 9. 7 by 9. So which option? Option B is correct. Option B is correct. So shall I proceed for the next question? A car is moving along a straight road with a uniform axle. It passes through 2 points P and Q separated by distance with a velocity 30 km and 40 km. The velocity of the car midway between P and Q. Okay, this is also a good question. So actually in this question what they are telling that car actually pass, it is like this. Actually there is a car, there's a point P, sorry, there's a point P, this is Q, right? Car passing through two points P and Q, right? So car passes through points P and Q. P point has a velocity 30 km per hour, Q point has a velocity 40 km per hour, and they are asking what is the velocity at point R. What is the velocity at point R, right? So equation of motion for P and R is P square is equal to U square plus 2AS. This is our equation. Here x distance travel and this also they travel x distance. Right. So the final velocity we want, this point I said this has a velocity v dash, right? So that is v dash square is equal to 30 square plus 2 times acceleration is x. So v dash square is equal to 900 plus 2ax. This is our equation first. Now for point for R and Q point. Now for point R and Q point, v square is equal to u square plus 2as, right? So for R and Q point final velocity is 40 square and initial point is v dash square plus 2 times acceleration and distance is x. So that is 1600 is equal to v dash square plus 2 times x, right? So what I do, I have to subtract this. If I subtract this, or otherwise I have to put the value, which is best. What I do, this equation 2ax I write as v dash square minus 900. This is our equation second. So from equation second we get 1600 is equal to v dash square plus 2ax की जगह that is again v dash square and minus 900. So that side there is, so 2500 that is equal to 2v prime square. So v prime square is equal to 1250. So v prime is equal to 1250, right? So if I take the square root of it, that square root comes out to be, it is like this, 25 into 25, that is 625 and into 2. So here v dash comes out to be 25 to 2 km per hour. Understand now? Not difficult now, just a conceptual, just apply equation of motion only, nothing that, right? So this is our whole PYQ I solved from 2020-25 to 1998. All PYQ of a 1D motion in a straight line NEET examination I solved around roughly 58 questions, and each video I try to make 35 to 40 minutes so that you cannot feel boring and your all revision and all concept are revised. And next video I try to make video on solved example of a NCERT, and then after that one video for important points of a 1D motion of a straight line, from a straight line motion, right? And then I try to solve important questions that are relevant for from the exercise of a NCERT, right? I hope your video and your this video is quite helpful and you feel really good. If you feel that my solving approach is quite amazing and this is quite helpful for other people also, you can share and subscribe my YouTube channel, and you can also join my Telegram channel where I shared all the information, all the content. And if you have any problem regarding any subject, any topic, you can also share me. I also make video on that and put in YouTube, like YouTube. And you can also comment me that which topic you wanted, I can teach you, or I can upload that topic so in easier way, so that you can understand this topic easily. Okay, fine. So I complete this video and meet in the next video. Bye, thank you.